And we're back. Mayor media campaign coverage in session. Just knocked off another record. As you guys know, I'm a sneakerhead. Today's kicks are the true blues. So, I did a mixtape record, about my affinity for footwear. The flyest of footwear, if you ask me. Set to the soundtrack of Wiz Khalifa's Never Been. Dr. Digital, do you have anything you'd like to add before we hit the space bar?
I think everybody knows what I'm going to say.
What? What are you going to say?
You're never getting signed.
Why am I never getting signed? Like, this is perfect. This is commercial at its best.
Oh.
Remember to rate, like, subscribe, comment. We want to hear your feedback. The campaign needs its constituents to point us in the right direction, as it would be. We have lots of ideas, and sometimes we just do entirely too much. So
that's you that does too much.
What?
Like you did on this mess. Come on, man. Let me push the button.
Man, hit the world premiere. Premiere.
I ain't gon' show yet. What I pull out today, I don't know yet. But they gon' be some heads turn that you can show back. I count a couple bad that I ain't roll yet. And if you go in my stash, I ain't gon' show yet. What I pull out today, I don't know yet. But they gon' be some heads turn that you can show back. It's a crazy kicks. Kicked off in my personal stash. Play out 13s and retro 3s ain't really hurting ass. Take a minute to contemplate. Throw a few fists together. Touchscreen iPod. Swipe it and check the weather. Yeah, it's sunny out. That mean that I'm showing off. Jamming some old me. I swear I'll be going off. Looked at my DT Max. Decided to let him rest. Would rock the Griffins. No matching fitted. My hair a mess. But I ain't gon' even stress. Cause I got some other shit. Still on that other shit I was thinking of running with. 3 M6 rings of Flight 45. Still saw 60 plus on retro 6s in black and white. AKA the Oreos. I think I rock Oreos. Every time I pour in those, I get looks from foreign hoes. I get the mirror and then I'm on my way. And this is how the mayor picks his kicks every day. Fresh.
What does that mean?
You just don't want to get signed anymore.
What are you talking about?
You just don't even.
What are you talking about?
You just don't even want to. You've. No.
I don't even. Can someone like comment, leave your love below? No, Bruno, and tell me what he's talking about. How is it that I don't? What about that says to you I don't want to be signed, or I don't?
Because you're making people that are signed look bad. I've said this so many times to you before. I don't understand how you don't understand my logic.
But this is just exercise. Like this isn't even the original concept stuff. This is just like exercising ideas in my mind.
When they see the stuff that you come up with originally, when like say for example you rhyme over one of my tracks or something like that. And they see the versatility. Yes. Shout out to all the other producers that you use as well.
Shout out to CG. Shout out, of course, Dr.Digital. Shout out to Silent Assassin, Mr. Nice Guy, Quest Man down there in the MIA. Everybody who's ever supplied me with an instrumental to embarrass someone on.
Exactly.
All of you make the campaign possible.
Absolutely. We're all in the council. But I mean, when you start flowing over our stuff and people start seeing you not just do, exercise verses like this, but they actually see you come up with a song concept, keep a theme throughout a whole song. They're getting the taste of the fact that you can do choruses and hooks and stuff like that. But I mean, when they start seeing you put together projects,
that's just like, playful banter.
I understand what this is, but this is making people look bad. This is showing what you can do just on a weekend, just on a whim. We're over here watching UFC and doing tracks in between fights, man. That's not that you're doing more in a track that we're playing around with than most people are doing in a concentrated fashion.
That is not my fault.
I know it's not your fault, but you're a threat to them. So they're going to do everything in their power to ensure that you don't infringe on their territory.
But that's hating. But that's
the world is full of haters, my friend.
But sir, everybody be like, don't be hating, quit hating, don't be hating, let that man get his money.
Yeah.
But that's what everybody else say. But when it's my turn, hey, fuck this nigga. He can't get in.
That's called the definition of contradiction.
So basically, today's industry and today's hip hop is a contradiction of itself.
Absolutely, absolutely. I believe that's what Nas was referring to when he said hip hop was dead.
What am I to do? You guys in the campaign, what am I to do? Comment, rate, like, subscribe to the channel. Please, let me know.
I'm going to tell you right now.
What do you have to say?
I have a hypothesis.
Okay. Speak your piece, brother.
Okay.
You got hate in your heart, let it out.
The only way, and I still don't say you're going to get signed per se, but the only way that you're going to have a movement is if the people that we're making these videos for and the people that you're making your music for actually take the time and, like American Idol, dial in or something like that. If they actually take the time to comment, rate, and subscribe, because then they will see that you have a movement behind you.
Essentially, it's like showing equity in a home to be able to borrow against the value of it.
You got it.
Right. So if the labels, basically that's what it is. Like the record business is basically investment banking. They make you establish a buzz to show equity in your name.
Yep.
So basically your advance is borrowing against your name and against your buzz. You're just borrowing money from them in exchange for what your buzz is at, where you put it on your own.
Basically, the record industry isn't going to take a chance or a risk on people, and your buzz is your credit line. So if you don't have A-tier credit or an A-tier buzz, they're not going to extend themselves for you. They're not going to take that chance. That's why they don't do artist development anymore. That's why you have sucky artists.
Which is why A&R is like
they don't. There's no such thing. The A&R is dead because there's no role for them to fulfill.
All it is like you just look up stats online.
Absolutely.
It's basically, if I was to sit here now and look up downloads or plays or views on different artists across the internet who are independent, I would be basically doing an A&R's job. Every time I listen to another artist mixtape, just to see what they're talking about, I'm doing an A&R's job.
Absolutely, and that's why a traditional A&R is not getting paid to do that anymore. There's no such thing as artist development, like I said before. I mean, you've either developed yourself and you have your own niche and you have your own fan base, or you're not signed. It's that simple. And if you're too intelligent, you don't get signed either. Yeah. Because then you've proven to the label or whoever else is trying to get your money that you're smarter than them and that you don't need them.
Once you don't need them, they have to throw more money at you in order to get your services. And in this day and age, they can't afford to throw that kind of money at you if you're unproven but still worth the money.
Right.
Because the general public is so... brainwashed is not the right word, but it is the right word. I mean, it's the right terminology, but I wanted something a little more cerebral. They're programmed to only know what's familiar to them.
And so most people are ignorant about what they're getting into anyway when they're trying to get into the industry. I mean, they're so hard on their luck, or they haven't really seen a large sum of money that when they get like a $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 advance, they think they're on top of the world. Well, all this stuff gets recouped anyway. You know,
you ever heard of that?
If you don't sell the amount of records necessary to recoup that money, you either, number one, don't get to make a second album. Number two, you owe them money.
No, you do both because they want their money back, so you're going to be in debt until you can get it back.
Exactly.
So that's how you spend your entire career in the red, because then they give you more. It's like, for those of you who are in the streets, and then we'll go ahead and wrap this video up before we go overboard. You take a front. First you take the front, you fuck off the money, or you come up short.
They also give you a certain amount of money so that you can look the part. Because if you're talking about you got jewels, you got Beamers, you got all this other kind of stuff, they're going to give you that money so that way you can look the part.
Cars have to be rented. Jewelry has to be rented. And all that
has to be rented.
Houses have to be rented.
All that kind of stuff. So you
have to keep up appearances.
You have to keep up your appearance.
But you take the front, then you come up short. Then you take another front to cover the other front.
Yep.
Then you stay in, basically you live in your whole life as an artist trying to be current, trying to get current, get to the gray. You're not even in the green yet. You're not to a point where you're making money. You're just still owe these people their money and they want it.
And don't let me start talking about publishing. That's a whole other video.
That is a whole other video, because this one's like 11 minutes now.
Yeah, we can just wrap this up.
Tell you what,
we're gonna start a whole line of videos on just industry education.
Yeah, we're gonna educate people
because this is ridiculous.
All
of that we just talked about is logic to me of why you'll never get signed.
And he wasn't pointing at you; he was pointing at me because I was holding the camera.
Yes.
But comment, rate, like, subscribe. Make sure to check the download link in the description of this video, because this MP3 will be for free download, because hey, I'm just a giving type of guy. You stay classy, internet. I'm Suave Burgandy.
And I'm Dr.Digital. I hope y'all make me a liar. I really do.
Yeah.